Alright, so we're getting closer to getting a solo happening. It still kind of sounds like a study and an exercise, which it absolutely is, but these are just tools and concepts to use in your solo. So now I want to mix arpeggios and our linear scale concept. So that's going to sound quite a lot different, even though we're just mixing the two things we've already been doing. So check this out. Sounds like this on its own. Okay, one more time. And with the changes. So now it's sounding a lot more consonant and melodic, right? So what we need to add now is rhythm. Even though eighth notes are obviously a huge part of the jazz language, rhythms are obviously, of course, another huge element. So now we're going to check out adding some rhythms to this. So adding melodic rhythms basically means that we're going to add rhythm to the same exact concepts that we're using, okay? So we're still using arpeggios and linear scales over the same changes. We're not using any other notes or anything else. We're just adding rhythms, and it's going to give it a whole new, fresh sound. It doesn't sound quite as boring and scale-like. So the first example I have is this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Over the changes. Again. So one thing that is really critical in jazz language, as far as rhythm, is the use of space. And specifically, if you look at the example, you can see that I'm kind of anticipating some of the chords on the end of a beat, or right before a beat. So if you check out especially the second bar, the 4th eighth note, I play the C sharp 1/8 note before it actually plays the chord, you know what I mean? So on that measure I'm doing, so I'm anticipating the C sharp of the A7 1/8 note earlier. And that's a huge thing. Anticipating things on the and of 4 or the and of 2 or right before a chord is quite a big element of the jazz language. And you can see I start off that line by starting on the and of 4 of the previous measure. So the and of 4 of the first measure going into that little bit sounds like this. That's a really common line. And 1 and 2 and. Okay? And now let's check out example 12. This adds something that's really popular called it's an eighth note followed by a triplet eighth note. It's called kind of like a send-off type of thing. Kind of sends you off into another register of your instrument, and then you can kind of play a line that goes down. So that's a really common element, and that's in this next one. Let's go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, so let's play that over the changes. can see when we play this up-tempo, it sounds totally in the jazz idiom, in the jazz language, and through all these steps I arrived at that point, right? And again, another rhythm element, I did kind of the same thing where I anticipated the A7 on the end of 2. Alright, check that out in the second measure. So if we check out the last rhythm of this example, I kind of included a rhythmic motif. Obviously we can have a melodic motif, which would be if we did something like this. You know, we kind of use the same melodic content in different ways, but we can also have a rhythmic motif where we use the same rhythms repeated. So my rhythmic motif is so da 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 da, right? So it's 2 eighth notes, then 8th note rest, then 2 eighth notes and 8th note rest, and that just repeats. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, up, boot up, boop up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, boop up, boop up, boop up. My pattern starts on the beat. You can do it off the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, boop up, boop up, boop up. Right? And if you look at it and count it, it's actually kind of like a 3/4 cross rhythm, because 2 eighth notes, then an 8th rest, 2 eighth notes and an 8th rest. That's 3 beats, 3 eighth notes total. That is the rhythmic motif. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right? You can do it all over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to play it, just that little rhythmic motif, just to show you the kinds of things you can do just with the rhythm over this. So I know I've covered a lot here, and I hope it wasn't too discombobulated, but we've gone over this common jazz chord progression and how to build a solo using arpeggios and linear lines with just 2 different scales. And again, you have all these examples to look at. And of course, I want you to make your own examples and obviously find your own ways of doing it. So some things to consider would be, you know, how many different places can you play these arpeggios and scales all over the neck or on one string, that kind of thing. How many different rhythms can you use? Can you write your own solo? Can you play your own solo? How many measures can you get through on your own? And I'm just going to play a couple of choruses using these ideas myself to kind of show you what we can get at. thanks for watching. Email me with any questions. I'm happy to help. Again, hopefully I can have some graphics and stuff I can start putting in the videos, but for now I do have this detailed PDF that's going to have everything you need on it. Alright guys.